Hare Krishna Mataji, please
Hare
accept my
Krishna
humble
Mataji.
obeisances. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, let us start our session quickly with Mangalacharan. Yeah, today we are going to discuss about the very most important chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that is the chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. So Krishna is saying this is the Raja Vidya, the king of education. So we'll see what is the Raja Vidya, why is it the most confidential knowledge and all in today's session. Yeah, let us start with Mangalacharan. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी की जय श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय जगत गुरु पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील गुरुदेव की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रीमद् भगवत गीता की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining today's session. So, as I said, today we are discussing the most confidential knowledge, Raja Vidya. Yeah. Today's session is also dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah. The acronym given for this chapter is KING. So, do you remember the chapter name? It is the most confidential knowledge. And Krishna says this is the king of the education. Hence, our acronym is also the same with the same name, that is king. So, K is for knowledge, 1 to 3 shlokas. I is for inconceivable relationship, 4 to 8 shlokas. And N is for no worship, 11 to 25. And G is for glories of devotion, 23 to 28. So, what is the knowledge that Krishna is talking about here in this specific chapter? And why is this the most confidential knowledge? So, all those details we'll discuss in this first section. And in the second section, we try to understand what is inconceivable relationship and how can we understand that relationship. Is there any way to understand that relationship? We'll see all those details in the second part. And in the third part, there are few people who don't take to the worship of the God. So why do they don't take to the worship of the god, and who take to the worship of the god? All those details we'll discuss in the third section, and in the fourth section we will discuss about the glories of devotion, glories of bhakti. Okay, knowledge, 1 to 3 shlokas. Okay, so this chapter goes in line with the seventh chapter. Okay, so seventh chapter we discussed about the knowledge of the absolute, right? So we discussed about the material energy. I mean, everything that we are seeing here is one of the elements of earth, water, fire, and ether, and they are nothing but the energies of the Lord. And our mind, ego, intelligence were also the energies of the Lord, and we jiva we also belong to the Supreme Lord. So we discussed all this in the seventh chapter. So seventh and ninth chapters are similar. Why? Because the sixth chapter, Krishna ends the sixth chapter saying that Bas, the best yogi out of all the yogis is Bhakti Yogi. And Krishna continues that discussion in the seventh chapter, giving all the details of Bhakti. And in the eighth chapter ending also, Krishna ends it by saying Bhakti Yoga is the best. So again, ninth chapter deals morely on the, mainly on the Bhakti Yoga. Okay, seventh and ninth chapters are more or less a bit similar. Okay, but we have much more important details in the ninth chapter. Let us see what are those details. Yeah, so this specific knowledge is considered to be the most confidential knowledge. So when we say it is the most confidential knowledge, then we might get the question, then what do you mean by confidential knowledge? What do you mean by more confidential knowledge? Now you are saying this as the most confidential knowledge. So Mataji, first let me know what is the confidential, what is the more confidential, and what is the most confidential knowledge. Yeah, we usually ask this question. So here we can see, yeah, degree of confidential knowledge. So when it comes to confidential knowledge, it is body and soul distinction. So do you remember where did we discuss this? In which chapter?
First chapter.
No, second. Okay. When Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, then Krishna explained this confidential knowledge, saying that you are not this body, your identity is you are a soul. So that is in the second chapter. Okay. And more confidential knowledge is knowledge of devotional service or relationship with Krishna. So what is this bhakti and what is our relationship with Krishna? All these details we discussed in the seventh chapter. So we got to know that we belong to Krishna, and we can evoke that devotion by hearing. Yes, you remember it was head, H-E-A-D, H for hearing. So now our love towards Krishna is in dormant state. We can wake up that love, we can awaken that love by hearing about the Lord. So that is the more confidential knowledge. And when it comes to the most confidential knowledge, it is this one, pure devotional service and Krishna's reciprocation. So when Krishna has to say it to be the most confidential knowledge, you see that what is Krishna saying the most confidential? It is about the pure devotional service, Shuddha Bhakti, and Krishna's reciprocation. What is Krishna's reciprocation to such devotees? That is the most confidential knowledge. Anyways, we are going to discuss that in today's chapter. Okay. So is it clear? Confidential knowledge is body and soul distinction. So understanding the difference between body and the soul, and knowing that we are not the body, but we are the soul. And more confidential knowledge is knowledge of devotional service. Just getting the knowledge, okay, how can we revive that relationship with Krishna? That is through bhakti. That is the more confidential knowledge. When it comes to the most confidential knowledge, it is like completely the highest degree of devotion, the pure devotional service. And when we are at that level, how Krishna reciprocates with us, that corresponds to the most confidential knowledge. Yeah. Two qualifications to understand this knowledge. Okay. The first qualification is anasuyave, that is non-envious. And the second qualification is shraddha, that is faith. So you remember when we are starting this course, when we were starting this course on the very first day, I told you to maintain this faith. Yeah. So at least maintain the faith that whatever we are trying to hear is authentic, and let me try to understand what Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. So you should have this minimal faith to understand this knowledge. Do you remember me saying that on the very first day? Yes.
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Yeah. So Krishna is saying here that you have to maintain this faith and you should be non-envious. To understand this knowledge, you should not be envious of the Lord. So we might get a question, how come we be envious of the Lord, Mataji? Yeah, generally, on whom we get envy, this feeling of envy? On someone who is at our level or little more or high or equal levels. Yes, like if I want to feel envy on someone, it should be, the person should be somewhere in my level, in my family or in my relatives or in my friend circle, in someone that I know, and that too at my level. Yeah, but if I, is there any chance that I feel envious or jealous of the Prime Minister of India? Is it possible? Do we feel envy or jealousy on him?
No, Mataji.
No, even though his position is literally high, but we don't feel envy or jealousy because we understand that, anyway, I don't match to that level. It is not waste of time to feel envy on that. Also, we don't even feel envy on that. Generally, on someone who is at our level, we feel envy. So now we may get this question: how come I get envy on Krishna? Anyway, I mean, there is no point in feeling jealous or envy feeling towards Krishna, right? But you know what? This envy feeling also goes like this. It is like, why do you always want to be the controller? Why, Krishna? Why you want to be the controller? Why only you have to be the controller? Yeah. So I also want to be the controller. I'll control the things in my life. Why only you want to be the enjoyer? I also enjoy myself. I don't want you to be the controller. I want myself to be the controller. I want myself to be the enjoyer. So this is also some sort of jealousy. Yeah. So when we don't have this feeling, then we would be able to understand this knowledge. So since Arjuna is non-envious, non-jealous, anasuyave of Krishna, he is able to understand this knowledge. Similarly, we should also be open, understand, okay, this is the reality. So if you want to enjoy, you partake in the enjoyment of Krishna and then you can enjoy. Yeah. If you want to control, you just understand that you are a limited being and you can control only few things. But when you do devotion to Krishna, then Krishna would be there to take charge of you, and he would do everything that is really good for you. So when you understand this, that is like non-envious, not feeling jealousy. So we should possess this quality to understand this most confidential knowledge. And the second point is we should have faith on the instructions of Krishna. So if we don't have the faith, even if somebody is trying to convey something to us, do we hear or do we try to listen to them? No.
No,
So even though you
Mataji.
might be non-envious, but still, if you don't have faith, then that is like useless. Like you don't even show interest in listening to it, right? But for Bhagavad Gita or for this most confidential knowledge to know, we should be non-envious and we should have complete faith. Since Arjuna maintained that, he could understand this. If we can also maintain these two qualities, non-envious and having faith on Krishna's instructions, then we can also understand this knowledge. Yeah. Why Krishna is saying this specific knowledge as the king of the knowledge? Because, yeah, you see the characteristics of this confidential knowledge is this is Raja Vidya, king of all knowledge, and this is Raja Guhyam. This is the most confidential and secret of all secrets. Okay. Pavitram, this is the purest knowledge. And Uttamam, this is transcendental. This is not something a material, mundane education. This is a transcendental education, knowledge. Pratyakshavagaman dharmyam, that is perfection of religion. So when you can understand this knowledge and able to follow this in your life, then you are actually reaching the stage of perfection of your religion. You are like perfection of dharma, that is. And susukam, then this process, what this knowledge is trying to convey is if you want to follow this process, and this process is very joyful, sukham, okay, and it is avyayam, everlasting. Okay, so let us see why Krishna is saying. So when somebody is giving so many adjectives to something, we feel so enthusiastic, right? Like susukam, avyayam, and uttamam, pavitram. So this is like describing the knowledge. So let us see what is Krishna saying about this knowledge. Hmm. Okay, so this is the first one, that is knowledge. Out in the king, the K stands for knowledge, and in I, we see about the inconceivable relationship. Okay, Maya tatamitham sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina matstani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvavastitaha. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. So Krishna is saying here, you remember the pearl example? The pearl string. What is that?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yeah. Can
The
anyone
pearls
say
can
what was the?
stand only when they are aligned on the string.
Yeah.
String.
Similarly, everything in this universe, everything around us is based on Krishna. Yeah. Just like how pearls are strung on a thread, similarly, everything rests upon Krishna. Okay. That was the shloka that we learned in the seventh chapter. Let us see what Krishna is saying here. By me in my unmanifested form. So Krishna is basically not manifesting here. So he is in his unmanifested form, like a hidden unmanifested form. This entire universe is pervaded. I am pervading this entire universe. So all beings are in me, but I am not in them. Basically, everything that is here, everyone are in me, but I am not in them. So Krishna is saying, I am pervading, I'm there everywhere in this universe. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Okay, let me explain the other shloka also, and then we can see what is inconceivable here. Yeah. Maya Adhyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartate. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So Krishna is saying, so this material nature, the nature that we are seeing around, is one of my energies. We learned this in the seventh chapter. Yes or no?
Okay.
Everything that we see around is an energy of the Supreme Lord. Remember, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, ego,
Yes.
intelligence, everything is the energy of the Supreme Lord. Same statement here. This material world is one of my energies and it is working under my direction, my adhyakshena, under my supervision. This material nature, this world, this prakriti is working, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. So basically, you can see any living being or you can see any non-living being. Everything is being produced by this material nature, and this material nature is working under my supervision. So Krishna is saying this. So what do we see around the nature? We see living entities or we see non-living entities. Is there anything apart from this in the nature? No. Yeah. So basically, material nature is producing both the living entities and the non-living entities. And under whose supervision this material nature is working? Krishna is saying, under my supervision, under my control, this material nature is working. Okay. And see, let us see what else Krishna is saying. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. And since I am controlling this, and this manifestation, this material nature, sometimes be created and sometimes be annihilated. Do you remember when this material nature is created and when this is annihilated? When you remember yesterday's discussion, when this material nature is created, under on whose day this material nature is created? Brahma's day. Yeah, I told you, right? Brahma's day, this complete everything comes into being. This material nature starts working. And in the Brahma's night, what happens? There is a annihilation. So everything becomes unmanifest again. Again, when Brahma's day comes, everything will manifest. Brahma's night arrives, everything will unmanifest. So basically, this material nature is created and annihilated under my supervision. So Krishna is saying here that under my control, everything is running here, and Krishna is also saying that I'm not in any of this. So let's say if I say that I am delivering these classes, okay, I am delivering these classes, and if I also say that at the same time from 8 to 9 p.m. this time slot, I am giving time to my family also. When I say that, will this two work out? Like I'm delivering the classes from 8 to 9 p.m. and I also say that I am spending my time with my family. Will these two will be possible here?
No, Mataji.
No. You say when you are delivering classes here, you cannot spend time with your family. And if you are spending time with the family there, you cannot deliver classes in this time slot, right? So we cannot be at two places in a given time. But you know what Krishna is saying here? Krishna is saying, under my control, everything is working, but I am not in them. So then who is running this? So if Krishna is the one who is running this everything, then Krishna has to be present here. But Krishna is saying, I'm not present here. So this is the inconceivable relation that we are seeing in this chapter. So basically, we don't have the superpowers or extraordinary powers like Krishna to say that I can be here and I can be there also. But for Krishna, you know what happens is, even though Krishna is running this entire material universe, even then Krishna reciprocates, or Krishna responds to his devotees' calls. So it is like, Krishna was the king of Dwaraka. Okay, and Krishna was ruling the Dwaraka kingdom. And when this particular incident of disrobing the Draupadi, so when Pandavas were called to the gambling match, and when Yudhishthir had challenged Draupadi in the match, so Draupadi, Pandavas had to, they lost the game, and the other party, Dushasana, he was trying to disrobe Draupadi. And Draupadi tried to save herself, protect herself by calling out to everyone there, all the people there, but no one could was able to help. Then what she was doing, she was just completely, she raised her hands like this: hey Krishna, hey Janardana, hey Vasudeva, hey Jagannatha, please come and protect me. Did Krishna say that I am actually the king of Dwaraka, I have to, I have to rule over this kingdom, I cannot come and protect you because I have to take care of this? Did Krishna say like this? No.
No,
So
Mataji.
basically, when you call out with utmost sincerity and devotion, Krishna would come there. It does not mean that Krishna is leaving everything aside and he's coming there. Krishna, he is so special, and so his potencies are so inconceivable that just by his energies, everything that is happening in the universe will be taken care. And Krishna, he himself is available to his devotees. So it is like when you see an atlas anytime, the model of the atlas would be something like this: a person would be carrying a big globe on his back, and he is like walking with so much strain like this. Have you seen anytime this sort of picture?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So when we see this, we understand that, oh my God, this person is really very taking a lot of trouble to carry this burden of maintaining this or weighing this. But when we, this will not apply to Krishna. When we say Krishna is running this entire universe, Krishna is like, oh my God, I have to take care of this, I have to take care of that, I have to take care of the this earth planet, I have to take care of the heavenly planet, I have to take care of the hellish planets. Oh my God, I have so many things. No, Krishna is not like this. Just by his energies, everything runs so perfectly and so accurately. And Krishna is like, he's so free that he just enjoys and spends time with his devotees. Yeah. So when you see the pastimes of Krishna, he plays with his friends, he he cheats his friends, he enjoys a nice time with his friends. So he's like enjoying, reciprocating with his devotees on one side, but on the other side, whatever that is happening in every part of the universe, that is being taken care by Krishna. How? By his energy. So this is the inconceivable relation. Does anyone in our class, or for say anyone in the world apart from Krishna, would be able to do this? No,
No.
not possible.
No.
It is only Krishna who can run this entire universe just by his energy, and at the same time, he is available to his devotees when we call out to him wholeheartedly. That is the inconceivable relationship of Krishna with his devotees. He might have a lot of things to do, but he don't need to be personally present there. He just takes care of all of those just by his energies. But he would like to spend time with his devotees. He would like to reciprocate with his devotees. That is Krishna. Okay. Let us see ahead. What is there in the further shlokas? Yeah. An unexpected relationship, his unimaginable connections with all living beings and the universe. So we cannot even imagine how he is maintaining the connection, how he is running all these universes just so expertly and so cleverly. And at the same time, he is not in the universe. He is just enjoying his time with his devotees. He is in the Golok Vrindavan, um, doing many pastimes with his devotees. Just by his energies, he is running the entire universes. Our weaknesses, such things are not explained by worldly logic. So if we want to understand how this is happening, how can Krishna do this, this cannot be explained by just some logic. Okay, some logical statements we cannot make, and we cannot make the other party to understand this. But this can only be understood only by devotion. Apart from that, we cannot understand how Krishna is able to manage all of this. Yeah, and let us see non-worship. So there are many people who say that there is no God. Okay, so Krishna himself is saying that fools deride me. Avajananti mudha manushim tanumasritam param bhavamajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all that be. So what happens is, many people would consider Krishna as a normal person, and they would not realize that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. They would be in an assumption that he is just like a normal person. Why to give value to him? So, you know what? One time, just a second. Huh. One time, before this war, Pandavas, they came to Krishna and they pleaded Krishna that, Krishna, you please go to Duryodhana and try to convince somehow or the other way that let us have some compromise in taking this kingdom, distributing this kingdom, and let us not go for the war. So they have asked Krishna to go and convey this to Duryodhana. So actually, Krishna went to Duryodhana and he started explaining so many things. See, when you just be on terms, you would be able to save a lot of people's lives. You'd be able to save a lot of money, lot of resources, everything would be saved. So Krishna is trying to explain the benefits of not having the war. Okay, but everyone in the assembly, apart from Duryodhana, everyone in the assembly got convinced by Krishna's words. Okay, they were like almost, they are like, okay, let us stop this war. Let us not go for the war. Let us listen to Krishna's words. This is for all our good. And let us leave this Duryodhana aside and let us try to follow Krishna. So Krishna was saying like this, and everyone was almost convinced. And you know what Duryodhana at that time? He said, just arrest this Keshava. He is trying to give us some nonsense logic here and he is trying to manipulate us. So arrest this Keshava. So Duryodhana said to arrest Krishna. But you know what Krishna did? Krishna immediately expanded his form to the universal form, Virata Rupa. Okay, and everyone was like, they were so stunned and they were just looking at Krishna with awe and reverence. Oh my God, how come Krishna, like we know Krishna from very long time, and how come Krishna had taken this big universal Virata Rupa? So everyone was looking at wonder, shock, they were surprised. And then you know what, Krishna immediately he came to his normal two-handed form and he just walked away. And you know what Duryodhana said? See, these are all some magical feats. You don't consider this as something that is extraordinary. This is like a magical feat. Even if I do some sadhana, I would be also able to do this. So don't consider this as some speciality of Krishna and don't consider him as some supreme power. So you know what? Even though, is it possible for any of us to show something like Virata Rupa like this, even by doing any sort of sadhana? Is it possible for us?
No, Mataji.
No, no. Still, even after looking at that, see, even though we might be foolish, but when we actually see something so special and so divine, we get convinced, oh my God, maybe I might be wrong. Whatever this person is saying, this might definitely have some logic. Let me try to listen to him. At least we get convinced, even though we might be foolish till that point. After seeing this, we might get convinced. So even after seeing this Virata Rupa, Duryodhana was not convinced. So this shows clearly that how fools deride the existence of Krishna. Krishna himself is saying, Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumastritam. So they consider me as a very ordinary, normal person. They cannot understand. So this is one such example. Like Duryodhana, even after seeing the Virata Rupa of the Lord, he still could not understand the supremacy of the Lord. So that is the nature of a foolish person. Okay. So Duryodhana best suits for that purpose. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. Even though he might be looking, he might be appearing in the human form, but he doesn't lose his supremacy. It's still the supreme personality of Godhead. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all that be. They do not know. And one time when Lord Ramachandra, so when Krishna appeared as Lord Rama to show or to let us know how a person, how a human should live, Naralila, when he came here to perform Naralila, then at the time when Sita had been kidnapped by Ravana, since Lord Ramachandra, even though he is the supreme personality of Godhead, still he is acting as a human being. So since his wife has got kidnapped, so he was literally crying a lot. And at that time, Mother Parvati, she was asking Lord Shiva, so how come Lord Rama is crying like this? See, he is the supreme personality of Godhead, and just because his wife got kidnapped, how can a supreme person can cry like this? So this is something weird to me, is what Parvati started saying to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva started saying, no, no, Parvati, don't consider or don't underestimate him. He is still the supreme Lord. He is playing the role of a human, and hence he was acting like a human being. But even then, Parvati wanted to test Lord Ramachandra. You know what did Parvati do? Parvati, she completely changed her form into the form of Mother Sita. So let us say if we were in the position of Lord Ramachandra, and if someone who is exactly in the form of our wife comes near to us, what would we do? We say, oh my God, Sita, you came here. Thank God, by somehow by the Supreme's mercy, we both got united again. We say this, right? But you know what? When Mother Parvati came to Lord Ramachandra in the form of Mother Sita, okay, Lord Ramachandra said, why, Mother Parvati? Why are you roaming here? And that too, you are roaming here without Lord Shiva. So this is not good for you. You go and be with Lord Shiva. So even though Mother Parvati is not in her form, she was in the form of Mother Sita, but still Lord Ramachandra was able to identify her. So he knows each and everything. So even though he might be acting as a human, he might be appearing as a human to us, but still his supreme power, the whatever the greatness of the supreme Lord would be there, that will still be with him. Even just the fools would not be able to understand his power. Okay. Yeah, let us see. Rejecting Krishna. Moghasha moga karmano moga gnana vichetashah rakshasim asurim chaiva prakrutim mohinim shritaha. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. So basically, who are bewildered or attracted by demoniac and atheistic views, their hopes for liberation, their activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. You see this picture? There are few people who are very much attracted to the money, very much attracted to the opposite gender, very much attracted to the things of this material world. So if they are too much attracted to the worldly things like this, then they would not be able to accept Krishna in their lives. Yeah, they would reject Krishna. Okay, when we have too much of allurements, attractions to the things of this material world, then it is not possible for us to get attracted to Krishna. So what happens is we reject Krishna. So we consider, leave about that. Give me some way, let me know some way where I can earn more and more money, where I can enjoy more and more. Just leave all these topics. Why Krishna? Why Rama? Why all this now? So let me just do my business and get more and more profits. I'm attracted to this money. Yeah, we see this sort of people, right? They reject Krishna. They don't even want to take to the path of bhakti. Yes? Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Krishna is saying, who is a Mahatma? Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha bhajantyananya manaso gnatva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Partha, those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the supreme personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So basically, those who are deluded, they don't attract, they don't accept Krishna in their lives. But those who are not deluded, those who are not under this illusion of this material world, then those they are the great souls and they are under the protection of my divine nature. So Krishna has two energies basically. One energy is this material nature. This is the external energy of the Supreme Lord. And there is internal energy of the Supreme Lord. That is where the spiritual world exhibits. Okay, this material world runs by the external energy of the Supreme Lord, and the spiritual world is maintained by the internal energy of the Supreme Lord. Now, those who are not deluded, not too much attracted to the things of this material world, then they are like great souls. They will be under the protection of the my divine nature. That is my internal energy. They come under my internal energy. Yeah, I told you one time, right? So there is external energy of Krishna, that is this material world, the world that we see here, and there is internal energy of Krishna, that is the spiritual world, where there is full of devotion there. Now you know what? We are like marginal energy, so we are in between. Why? As a soul, we belong to the internal energy of the Lord, and as we are entrapped in this body belongs to the external energy of the Lord. Now you understand? There is external energy made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, ego, intelligence. This is one energy, and there is another energy where that is the divine energy, where the spiritual world would be exhibited. That energy is there. Now, as a soul, we belong to basically the internal energy of the Supreme Lord, because we are also divine. We are also Satchit Ananda, because we discussed on the day of second day, right? So we are all Satchidananda. We are souls and we belong to the Krishna. We are parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. So as a soul, we are divine, but this divine soul has been entrapped in the material bodies, which belongs to this material energy. So we are in between. We are like not completely spiritualized. We are not completely material. But based on our activities, if we are too much attracted to this world, material energy, external world, then we fall here and we reject Krishna. But if we understand that this is all illusion, so this is like a prison house, what we discussed yesterday. This is like a prison house. If I go after my desires, then that is like I'm increasing my span here. I'm falling into the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So this is all illusion. There is no happiness here. This is just a titillation. So when someone understands this, then they go towards the internal energy of the Lord. Okay, that's why we are like marginal energy. So who are Mahatmas? Krishna is saying those who understand that this world is temporary, this world is full of miseries, dukkhalayam ashashvatam, then they turn to the Supreme Lord and they perform devotion. So they are Mahatmas. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Activities of Mahatma. What does he do? Basically, ABCD he does. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasya drudavrataha namasyantasya mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So, Mahatmas, they take to the process of chanting kirtaniyaha. They always chant the names of the holy names of the Lord. Dridhavrataha. How? With a fixed determination. So they are completely determined. Okay. See, there are many lifetimes where I was living for my own sake, thinking my body to be me, and the people who are related to my body are the ones who I'm completely related to. So, with that thought process, I have spent so many lifetimes. But at least after understanding this knowledge, let me try to live as a soul. I got to know about my identity, so let me live as per that identity. Let me do the soul level activities. So they maintain strong determination. Okay, so it needs a really lot of determination to hold on to bhakti. So many times if we just want to achieve something material, do we need determination or not? Like if we want to achieve good marks, or if we want to crack an interview, or if you want to get a very high pay job, then do we have to show determination to practice for that and to prepare for that? Yes or no? Just for a material thing,
Yes, Mataji.
we have to show determination. Means you can just imagine, we are trying to come out of this complete illusion, this complete trap, and we are actually going back to our original place. So this needs a lot of determination. Yes or no? Otherwise we again fall back into this material world. As I said, we are like in between. So we need to show a lot of determination to take to the path of spirituality. Otherwise, the pull of this material world is so strong that when we don't show determination, when you don't take to sadhana sincerely each and every day, we will be pulled to this side. Yeah. So this Mahatmas, they show this strong determination. And Namasyanta, what do? They offer obeisances. And Nitya Yukta, they are always engaged in the service of the Lord. You know what? Offering obeisances is the very, very important thing in bhakti. Let's say, if you consider my position,